right, here we are on Cloud Kingdom to get things started for today's GSL World Championship Qualifier games. We've got Root Vibe, the WCS USA winner. Yep. He is the green Zerg down in the bottom left corner, and up here in the top right, it's Sad, a.k.a. Evil Genius's HuK, playing as the pink Protoss. He did pretty well at WCS Canada and at WCS North America, but of course Scarlet was able to get past him and take that whole tournament down. So Vibe and HuK, two of the very best players in North America, even just results-wise, battling it out here in the first round of this qualifier. Going to be some good games here.
Okay, and so those of you who may just be joining us, we did announce before, of course, that we are actually putting up a contest. We are searching for our next StarCraft 2 in-house caster, and we're actually going to give the top 4 people in that a chance to, or not a chance, they'll be flown out to IPL 5 to cast some matches on stage as their final test. And so if you have any questions about that process, you can feel free to direct them to us on Twitter. I'm at Kevinaki. He is at AskJoshi. We'll be happy to talk about them during the entire cast tonight, so please don't worry about that at all. For now, though, it is Vibe versus HuK. We mentioned before that you know, both these players are quite good. HuK obviously has a lot of experience over in Korea and has been training quite a bit there. And, you know, obviously he wants to find those kind of championship results again. He's obviously won MLG a couple of times, and he is a very strong contender. Pretty much anything he sets his mind to. He's kind of the player to me that's like, there are guys that if they decide to dedicate themselves to one tournament can just destroy it, and HuK always seems like that. He'll drop off the map, won't participate in a ton of online cups or team leagues or anything like that, and then we'll decide, oh, well, I'm just going to go ahead and win this next MLG that's coming out and do it. Yeah,
and he'll definitely dedicate, you know, all of his practice towards one sort of event at a time. He did actually help Evil Geniuses get into that playoff for IPTL Premier Division and took some games off some very powerful players, so definitely contributing in the team league this season for Evil Geniuses. He has a DreamHack victory under his belt from last year as well after moving over. Actually, was that before he moved over to Evil Geniuses? I'm trying to remember now. I think he had a Liquid shirt on. I'm pretty sure he was still Liquid.
I think it was.
Yeah, so he's won a DreamHack. He's won 2 MLGs, one as Evil Geniuses, one as Millennium, actually way back at MLG Raleigh 2010. That was the first live event. I attended the first live event that MLG had for StarCraft 2, and I bought HuK ice cream for his victory. And
nice.
It was Dippin' Dots, actually.
At that point, that was probably the. I just remember how
that
big
was more than the prize
prizes have gotten now. Yeah, exactly.
I matched his prize.
And that's not a dig at MLG at all. It's just obviously tournaments have gotten much larger since then.
Yeah, I think first prize was at like $1,500 or maybe $2,000. But yeah, I bought him some Dippin' Dots to add, you know, cherry on the cake there.
Nice.
But yeah, so HuK, you know, has been around forever since the beta. I remember back when he did not have a computer good enough to play games over 100 supply. So he was the master of rushes. All he would do is a one base play to try and kill his opponent before the 10-15 minute mark, so that, you know, his computer would be able to keep up. He actually had a donation, I want to say, from Faith or maybe even Havad Khan back then. Those guys hung out a lot in the beta. Donation of a computer did help HuK actually excel and kind of break out of that habit of just rushing every time on every map. So that was back when Steps of War was in the map pool, though, so really can't blame him for that kind of play. I mean,
that's true.
Those maps really did favor super fast, aggressive builds a lot.
And HuK is not actually using his first 100 gas on a +1 weapons. He's going into his Stalker and his Warp Gate research as quick as possible. So, with not dedicating towards +1, and he still could very well put up some pretty aggressive tech. We see a pylon being constructed inside of the main, and if he decides to double gas here in a second, we'll certainly find out. It's no really early 3rd and 4th gas, though, but of course he hasn't spent that 100 on +1 weapons, so he has a lot built up anyway.
Yep, and Vibe on the other side of the map does have his 3rd base up and running now. He's already churning away on those drones. I'm sure the count is getting pretty high now with another 7 coming out for him, and soon, you know, HuK with his Chrono Boost advantage will actually, you know, slip behind in worker count unless he adds on a 3rd base here soon. And yeah, ViBA just making 8 lings, kind of preparation lings. I'm sure he's not really looking to do much damage with them, but he can take map control, hang on to both Xel'Naga towers, kind of test the front of HuK's base and see what's going on over there, and just have them as sort of all-purpose lings. They can also hunt down probes that might be dropping pylons around the map as well. 5 more gateways being on for HuK.
Well, we are watching HuK. You mentioned jokingly before that he was the master of aggression. Well, he really was. He's still very fond of gateway usage. He's still very fond of his sentry controls, so it's not really surprising to see something like this. The ViBA, on the other hand, could be going for a more normal Zerg build up to this point. 35 drones, double gas, 45 drones, Roach Warren, and Zergling speed. We'll see layer tech and an evolution chamber here more than likely in just a second, especially once he gets that next 100 gas.
Yeah, once HuK's gateways are done, though, I mean, he does have that probe sneaking along the bottom common knowledge hallway. I'm not sure who this common knowledge hallway belongs to, but
we'll give it back to John the Translator.
Give it to John?
Because,
okay.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Just for all he's done, he really just should have ownership of a lot of common knowledge hallways. But he drops that pylon. We'll see if ViBA is actually going to be quick enough to pick up on that fact that a probe just kind of walked through his area there. But it looks like so far ViBA is not going to discover that pylon. There's another one being built. Yeah, actually the Overlord is going to scout it out, but as a bunch of units are getting warped in.
And ViBA did pick up on all the gateways. He saw them warping in, and all 6 gateways are or they're powering ahead, I guess I should say, as Sad, a.k.a. Evil Genius's HuK, is just trying to put some pressure on right now.
Yeah, with this first Zealot attack, he is kind of drawing ViBA away. There are 2 more pylons placed just above this that he could actually warp in and try to split this aggression, pull ViBA's focus maybe over to the 3rd base and start attacking the natural if it's more exposed. But right now, those Zealots are going to be dealt with. HuK has moved down with 6 Stalkers and a few sentries actually just coming right up the ramp, going to be joined by more warp ends as HuK is able to afford it. There's actually a Twilight Council being built now so that he can research Bleak War Charge at his leisure. He does have that forge at the front still, right, in his natural?
Yes, yes he does.
Yeah, so does he have a +2? I'll need Twilight Council, of course.
Yeah.
So he is moving forward, dropping those force fields. It looks like the Lings and a couple of Roaches are getting through. HuK, instead of taking advantage of separating those units, is going to back up behind the pylon. May want to, use some warp ends during this fight, but he's leaving this pylon very exposed at the moment.
Okay, we'll see where his next set of warpins is going to occur at, but it looks like he's done with the damage for now. I'm not sure if ViBA has picked up on this forward pylon. No, he's not, and won't likely find it for a while. Oh, the sentry's actually getting caught out in the middle of the map, and that could have been a little bit disastrous, but looks like HuK is going to clear it up and start to move back. Why do we have 2 more layers coming out? Is that what I see?
Double layer.
Okay.
Okay. What?
So did he
okay, canceled just one.
He canceled. He actually had this researching a long time ago.
Yeah.
And canceled it for whatever reason. I'm not sure if it was a mistake. I'm not sure what happened. But okay, that looked a little weird to me. But,
I've never seen that. I don't think ever.
No.
Just two layers pumping away right next to each other.
That's a new one on me.
I've seen like double spawning pool, double Roach Warren, actually triple Roach Warren the other day, didn't we? Pig and no, it was double.
We were joking that it should be though.
Oh, he needed the triple. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, 40 Lings coming out for ViBA. This is, indicative of some pressure that he wants to try and put onto HuK now. HuK's already been over in his territory, so now he needs to kind of return the favor, see what damage he can get done, and he feels that with this huge number of Lings and Roaches, he should be able to get something accomplished. If HuK does have that 3rd base, ViBA may not know it yet, so we'll see if he's going to, first check the water, so to speak, over there. HuK does have a lot of sentries here available to try and save the space, though.
All right, well, Zerglings are already going to town on the photon cannons, but HuK's going to save those. Nice catch with the force fields, and he actually zones out a lot of the forces and allows those photon cannons to finish up. Now, will he have enough left over, though? Sentry energy is getting fairly low, but he still has 5 or 6 force fields at his disposal to try and put on some more pressure. And the photon cannons are actually doing an effective job at driving those units away. They're quite powerful.
We have another contingent of Zealots. Not sure. Oh, there is another pylon way in the bottom right corner. I barely even saw that there on the mini-map, but some Zealots did just traverse that area of ViBA's base to get over to that 3rd, and Spinecrawler's Queen and some Lings, it looked like, were able to clean that up. 15 Roaches on the way for ViBA, switching it up off of the Lings a little bit. He's just going to continue using them as sort of a mineral dump. Walks face first into that tier 1 force of HuK, and HuK is getting Immortals out now, so this force from him is going to get scarier and scarier. ViBA just now getting that Infestation Pit kind of established. Doesn't have Infestor Tech yet.
And HuK has full walled off at the front and should have enough units there to be able to to defend this, although these destructible rocks are going to fall pretty quickly. So HuK will do a little damage here, but he's going to have to defend yet another spot. But this is a pretty good spot for him to do it with those force fields at the back and those sentries that are reaccumulating energy.
Yeah, 2 more gateways being added on for HuK. Still rolling out Immortals, getting +2 weapons situated for himself. He's really looking in a pretty good position. ViBA starting +2 for his own ranged units. That is a lot of roaches there, but it looks like they're going to have a really tough time actually getting into a nice concave or even getting into a position to fight at all. The fact that all those sentries are still standing, gaining energy back up, is going to you know, make this pretty difficult to attack into from anywhere.
Okay, well, HuK still doing damage to those photon cannons have actually been proven to be worth their weight in gold. Looks like the first photon cannon will fall, but a lot of roaches have already been taken out without doing all that much economic damage. ViBA's killed 1 worker up to this point, just 1. And HuK has been able to continue to tech up. He's got the Immortals in the mix now with the second one on the way, and
that's
+3 weapons.
So he's already got +2, already smashing down these roaches with the Stalkers. That's a lot of force fields used, but it does, you know, get some free kills for him, so still justifiable. He is going to walk down this ramp and perhaps try to do a counterattack. This is a lot of Zealots streaming in to a very undefended fourth base. It looks like it already has taken some damage from a Zealot warp in earlier on while that Roach battle was going on. 10 drones in production. I don't know if ViBA realizes HuK is coming across the map to try and kill him right now. He might not have wanted to build 10 drones there. Probably wants some more Lings and Roaches to be able to defend now.
Okay, there's the second Immortal. I was wondering if he was rallying it with the army, but he's not. So once again, it's going to be need to be very good control here from HuK, and he has it. He splits that army in half. He has a better range with some of his Stalkers and the Immortals, and has got himself a great position now to start inflicting economic damage and take out more hatcheries.
Yeah, if he can keep his Immortals away from the huge volley of roaches, he should be able to blast down quite a lot of them. The sentries are very low on energy at this point. They're not using Guardian Shield just yet. Once these force fields end, there you see a Guardian Shield protecting the Immortals a little bit, and roaches still just getting gunned down fairly quickly by these Immortals and Stalkers. I saw Fungal go down there. Looks like the shields are going to be worn off a little bit, but ViBA really doesn't have a whole lot here, and Zealots have cleaned out this mineral line and are about to kill the Infestation Pit. I feel like if the Infestation Pit goes down, yeah, that's going to be really rough for ViBA. He only has access to roaches at this point, can't really stop, and there's just not a lot mining at all. There's a GG from ViBA.
All right, game number 1 going to HuK, and a very well played game from kind of point A to point B. There, did a really effective job of making sure that he was always macroing ahead. He was standing up.
So game 1